Okay, just as an example, let's open up this tree here, palms, and we'll try and select this tree here just to look at some different ways we could do that. You could try the object selection tool, it might work. It's not bad, it's missing some things, but you see the trouble is going to be that you're going to get all this blue between the leaves selected with it, and then that'll look awkward, you know, on top of the sky. And then you could go and you could probably select that, not too difficult. But let's look at one way a lot of people use to select trees generally is to go into channels. And if you look at the blue channel, for example, what the channels do is white shows where the color is present, and the closer to black means the less there is blue. So here, obviously the sky is very blue, so it's kind of like blocking out the sky, and it could potentially let us easily select the tree, which has very little blue in it. So first we're going to duplicate that channel, and then the aim is going to be to make this so contrasty that it's black and like pure black, pure white, so that we can just completely select everything that is tree and nothing that is sky. Because right now, if we select it, there's going to be, well, it's not bad actually, but there's some area between, and for other examples it'll be more important to kind of go in, and all you do is something like the levels, go in and make the whites a bit brighter and the blacks darker. And then when you select this, you're selecting luminosity, so you're selecting the whitest areas. Another thing we could do just to edit this and make it easier is what have I done? There we go. We can edit everything out except for this tree over here. So why don't we just take a white paintbrush and we'll just take everything out other than that tree. So I know why it's shaking around so much. Okay, there we go. So, like I was saying, you control click and it kind of selects the inverse, or selects the white areas, and you could control shift select to do the inverse, or you could edit this channel and just invert it, and then that way when you control click to select it, you select the bright area. So now we're going to go back to the actual image, and you'll keep the selection from that channel, and we'll see now that we can bring it over just that tree. So let's go ahead and just bring it over to our image, and obviously the light's not quite right with the scene that we're trying to do, and often, I mean, it looks like an evening, the scene that it came from. But usually a nice thing to do if you're doing like an evening shot is to go in and adjust the saturation. Colors will be a lot less saturated. There we go, that's not looking too bad. You can adjust the saturation, you could adjust the hue if you wanted. You could bring the saturation way down. Yeah, let's do something like that. And then we'll just maybe scale it down a little and have it off there to the side. Let's straighten it out a little. Or it could be coming off from out of the scene. I don't know. Let's say that's good for now. Next, let's just start using the trees from here. This is another little skinny palm tree. We can kind of, let's say, fill in some trees in the background, give it some deep perspective. And then let's just alt drag that and make a little kind of cluster, do them all a little bit different. Okay, something like that. And now we'll just pull in kind of like a background cluster of trees. You can tell that this was like a super rough clipping. You might want to do a little bit better job than that. Bring it down behind the building. All right, that's okay for now. Let's go in and get some kind of like a city skyline so we can make it look, like it's an urban site. So for that, we'll actually go in and open again just to quickly go over some selection and editing. So first we're going to, you could do saturation again like we did to get the kind of more nighttime lighting, but there's another thing you could do is an adjustment layer called color lookup. And then there's a couple specifically that is trying to be these quick one-click settings to make a photograph into a nighttime scene. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, and you can adjust how intense it is. Let's maybe make it not so intense, but something like that. And then let's use this quick selection tool to see if we can just grab maybe everything down to the bottom of this grass. Oh, it's being a little bit too loose. Okay, it can be rough. It's totally, it's going to be so small in the background. Let's just hit Q and we'll quickly block out the bottom. Just use that red paintbrush. As long as you're on 100% opacity, then hit Q again. So now we have our skyline. Okay, we just want to make sure that we merge these layers before we select that. That's one disadvantage of those adjustment layers, is sometimes you have a selection. You won't always take the adjustment with it when you drag it over. So we can just bring it over to our image, scale it down, and pull it below background. And just whatever you think looks good. It's not bad. And this is so rough that we can just pull another one over here. Maybe put it behind it. Yeah, let's do that. That looks fine. We can merge those. Merge those. Name it. It looks a little dark. Maybe let's quickly just select it, and add a little lightning. And then, because it's a light, let's say the sun's setting over behind them, we could, if you want to add a detail, select that whole skyline, start a new layer, and just put it right on top of the skyline. And we'll fill it in with like a dark blue. Yeah, that's okay. We'll just pull it down. All right, that's not bad. Let's bring in just this kind of simple cutout of some cars. Again, you don't want to overdo it or do anything that starts to distract or look, I don't know, silly, unless you want it to look silly. And again, maybe we could desaturate these a little bit. Let's say that's fine. And we'll bring over this larger tree as a kind of foreground. It's not bad. Maybe make sure that it's not, touching the building. Good, so now pretty much there. Maybe here's another scrappy kind of thing. This looks a little awkward, but we can just cheat and drag another one of these over. I don't know, do something like that. It's not bad. It's obviously incorrect in how it would actually be, but it works. Collage, you can do whatever you want to make it look right. Now let's just add some people. We don't need to go over how to select people. We'll just bring them in. Looks a little corny. Maybe we should just do black and white again, like we did in the last one. Yeah, that looks a bit better.